forgot to record. Thanks. Sean sneaking in here. He's like, gotta record. So we're gonna be going over a few things. So it could be anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes long, depending on how much brainstorming we do and how much discussion we have on each topic that we'll discuss. So I'm gonna screen share. The first thing that we'll do is just go over pretty much our last book fair and what we did. And so you can see the numbers. So give me a second here. Let me screen share this. And feel free to ask questions. You can put it in the chat. I don't know, Sean, if you could put the agenda in the chat. I'm not going to be going in order. It was just something I put together pretty quickly. So that can change depending on what folks want to discuss. But can everybody see that? If you have, yeah. So our last book fair will be the one at the top. And so the one that just passed, our total sales was $2,149.97. That brought us for a total profit in Scholastic rewards, not in dollars, of $587.49. So that, I know we were discussing, most of that could go towards the 5th grade experience. Is not something we'll be discussing in this call, but some of the money that was raised in Scholastic dollars can go to adding on to what the fifth grade experience would look like. But that's money right now that's sitting in our account. And then the total we have so far is about, just a little bit over $3,500. And this is something we'll discuss in the call today in terms of, planning and creating a proposal of how we want to kind of start utilizing this money to supporting teachers and students at STAR. But yeah, so this is what we're looking at. Last year, you can see December's total, but that was in person. So you could see the big difference. I think we did pretty great for the first virtual book fair, so at the end of the day, I feel really good because I think that we had set the goal, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was $1,600, right? I forget. I think it was $1,600. So we kind of surpassed that and we're able to, get some extra funds to kind of utilize how we see fit, in terms of supporting the school and the students. So which is pretty cool. But yeah, so this is kind of our totals over the years. And those have always been in person. We, I think that pretty good. So if you have any questions, I'm going to turn off screen share here really quick. Anybody have any questions about that? It's pretty straightforward. Very cool. Let me see. I don't see the chat here. Organize. All right, cool. Awesome.
I have a cool question. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Wondering, like, from the teachers' end, did teachers set up those wallets and make the wish? Do you feel like that helped? Is there any way to kind of know or?
Yeah, so which I could have put it up, but I didn't. But I think it was only 3. Sean might know better than I. I think only 3 teachers set up the e-wallet. There was maybe 3 or 4 parents that set up an e-wallet on their own. But I think it was only 3 teachers that set up an e-wallet. And I think 1 teacher didn't even use the funds that was in the e-wallet. So they have that balance for the next book fair that we do. Maybe it's something that we want to think about in terms of providing some more support in terms of maybe helping with creation of e-wallets or advertising it or having maybe some kind of quick training that the teachers can see. I'm not sure how that went about and if there was not understanding on how to do it.
I definitely don't want to take up too much time. I just think it could be a note to say, I think for us as a staff, it's helpful if we're all doing something at the same time. So if we have the PD that comes right before the next book fair to say everyone take 5 minutes to just do it right now. If you have questions, they could be answered right now. I think that you would see that number jump up. But like I said, I don't want to take up too much time with that.
No, that's actually valuable, a valuable input because we weren't sure at the time what we could do, but that I think is something that we definitely will take into consideration and do in a more timely manner for the next book fair. I think somebody was.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I think, the virtual. This is our first time doing the virtual one, and I think that was probably one of the biggest lessons is like how can we get more of the teacher support. So we did send out a email, kind of encouraging the teachers to sign up for it, but there was, even after that, there was some like technical questions. So there's like a little bit, we had been using Jody and Darlene as a bridge to access the teachers, which is helpful. But I think having you here and Cheryl here, and like making that connection more organic, we'll be able to have more success on the future ones. Just because it is a little hard when we're trying to communicate through somebody, and we don't have like direct means of access to all the teachers. But like I was just gonna add, in addition to that, I think, based on the experience that we had last year with doing our book fair, and kind of the numbers that Jenny went over, this was a significant fundraiser for us. It's our first fundraiser in the pandemic, which should be noted from the PTA's end. So that was a big thing for us because it's been very hard to just like get ourselves organized and having the capacity to do fundraisers. And we were also very concerned about the financial hardships that families were encountering and how that would pan out. And I think it worked out well. We didn't get to use, there was an allocation of $250 from the PTA in cash to support families who needed it during the book fair. We didn't do a good enough job on spreading the word with that. And it wasn't used. So I would definitely say that's something that we can carry over into the spring book fair, is like figuring out how to like get more teacher involvement to motivate students and parents, and also how to reach out to parents who might need the support to access funds.
Cool, thanks for that. Anybody want to add anything to that, or kind of in agreement? I mean, I think those are really good points to help us, for the next go round, especially if we can kind of build more of a bridge with the teachers directly, because I know Ms. Friedman and Ms. Cameron got a lot going on at school, so it's always hard to kind of build those bridges and kind of have those connections when everybody's tackling so much. But yeah, so if there's no other questions or anything, we'll move on to the next point on the agenda. And I want to go right into the planning of our readathon. I don't have any experience actually in ever being part of a readathon or having planned a readathon. So this will be also a learning experience for me. So if there's folks on this call that have been part, I'm assuming Ms. Wolf, you have. I know Sean, you know a bit about the logistics behind the readathon. Maybe we can discuss that and see. We can start some initial planning around what our readathon would look like. I know there was a vote at the last PTA meeting for it to be on April 5th, and it would run for 4 weeks. So anybody could speak if they want.
I can say something. I'm usually not involved. Neighborhood School did a readathon for many years and raised a lot of money that way. I personally have some feelings about rewarding reading in that way. So I'm not entirely comfortable with like paying for reading, because reading is the reward in itself. But that said, if it can be minimally like restrictive, not too many restrictions, audiobooks, read-alongs, counting, more things as reading. I did see something that I loved, but of course too late, and I'm wondering, it was a March Madness read-along, and I thought that would be so much fun for the school to do, to sort of build community. I wonder can you do March Madness in April? call it March Madness in April. I don't know how to tie that to raising money, but there are like, you know, it's kind of a battle of the books type of thing. And so you read 2 on one day and vote for your favorite and so on. So, you know, if you can imagine brackets around 4 sets of books, and then it gets narrowed down until there's a winner. If you've ever done March Madness with sports, you probably know the system better than I do. I don't really know, but it seemed like fun.
Yeah, I have no experience with any of that stuff. So,
I have a file I can share with you if you wanted to see it.
okay, so let's go and put something in the chat here. I think Sean, you wanted to speak.
Yeah, I was just gonna say on the like logistic technical side of the readathon, to give people some background. The readathon it's an actual organization called Readathon. It has a website, interface, all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
One can do it independent of that, but it's already like a set in place
Oh.
structure. It's the historically has been the biggest fundraiser for Star Academy, raising nearly $7,000 every time we do it. And so I feel you, Cheryl, on like not incentivizing it, but also, you know, we do fundraisers where we sell chocolate, and you know, that's not something we want to incentivize. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think if we are just very clear about the language on what the fundraiser is supporting, it's like a breast cancer awareness walk, right? Like you're trying to raise money not only to support literacy and reading, but also for, you know, whatever we say it's for, you know, PTA funds to support X, Y, and Z, a mutual aid fund or something like that. And if we can make that connection, like that, I think is where we're incentivizing participation. So we're like, reading is the vehicle that we're using, but we're really raising money for X, Y, and Z, so that it doesn't seem like we're just rewarding with money towards
Okay.
reading, you know. But it is a very significant fundraiser for us. We haven't done it since 2017. So yeah, we've been missing out on it for a bit too.
Okay. I just want to say one thing, which is, I think it's going to be in April. I'm talking to a parent from TNS. I have a lot of books, like new-ish, really, you know, books in good condition and used donations. Most of the donations go out, but I was thinking of having a free book fair outside. So I didn't want to compete with you know, the other book fair. So do you have the dates for the other book fair? And maybe,
So we don't have any dates set.
Okay.
We were thinking like end of May. This is just a proposal, like what I was thinking, end of May, beginning of June, right
okay.
before school's out. So it wouldn't conflict if you're thinking about something for April,
Okay.
or what, you know,
Yeah. And then,
before.
okay. Could it coordinate with the readathon maybe?
I mean, sure. If you feel like that you have the capacity and you need, we can get some volunteers if you need. I don't see why not.
Okay.
You just have to kind of find when you want to do it, and then kind of go from there, what you're thinking.
Okay. And what are the readathon dates again?
April 5th through April 30th.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so we could definitely try to do that, because that would be great. You get some free books into kids' hands, and they have more options for reading. I like the idea of also having the audiobooks part of their reading. You know what I mean? So it's not, if they don't have access to physical books, they can do audio. And then I know we wanted to do like your read along, so we could also incorporate that into as part of their reading.
We just got a collection today of new read-alongs.
Awesome.
Digital read-alongs, yeah.
Nice. So maybe we can choose the next, when the date will be for the next one, so we can put it on the calendar. So maybe we could get to that at some point before we go today. Anybody have anything else they want to add for a readathon? I feel like I don't know exactly how we want to go about this. If there is if there's like we need physical volunteers for this readathon? Is it all going to be just promoting virtually, where we have people at the school like putting up flyers? I don't know how this would look like. Also, because mostly it would be virtual, I'm assuming, in terms of how we're like interacting.
Yeah, so I think the interface, it's like you know, there's like a board within the interface where communication can happen and like encouragement can happen and all that kind of stuff. I think the fundraising committee next week is going to be talking about kind of the details around the readathon with fundraising and kind of looking at it from that perspective. I think us in the book fair committee, we're trying to figure out like events that will support the readathon. So like the read-alongs with Cheryl, doing a free book fair with you know, in partnership with Cheryl, like that kind of stuff. I think is what we want to focus on. Like, how can the book fair committee support the readathon, and using it too as a vehicle to just support our overall mission, you know, of more reading and all that kind of stuff. And so we don't even need to talk about like organizing volunteers for the fundraising component, because the fundraising committee will do all that kind of stuff.
Okay, good. This kind of just wanted to know so that we're not like doing too much, and this is our main focus, is to just focus on the support. So maybe we could even use, I know Sherry, like, oh, what books and stuff for March. I know there's, I'll show you really quick. I'll screen share what the front of the Scholastic catalog looks like, and they have a bunch of new March releases. And maybe we can use some of the Scholastic dollars to purchase some of these books. Let me see here. How did I do this? So yeah, I can see this is like the front. So they have like these new March releases. I mean, so you can see actually what the catalog looks like. I'm not sure if anybody's ever even seen the Scholastic catalog.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Cheryl, you have definitely seen it, and everybody else here. So maybe we can utilize some of the funds. You see, we have almost $3,600 in here.
I think that's a great idea.
I mean, we got some money to use. Might as well use it to support this readathon in some kind of way. Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah, sorry, and I am getting kicked out once again. They're really itching to start sanitizing the room, it seems. I was just going to say that, yeah, we have a half day on the 7th of April, and I was thinking like how nice it would be if every kid was just like, here's a book, here's your flyer, go get reading, right? Like, I know that like that push, that like physical reminder of like, oh, I have a new book in my hand, and whether it's through Scholastic or even if like we did or through what Cheryl already has collected, or even like a parents drop off some books your kid has already read, and we'll like, you can grab a different one on your way out, like kind of building that excitement. I think that like, you know, something in hand is always like a good motivator.
That'd be great. Like doing like a book swap on the half a day. So people bring a book, take a book, and then you can start reading right away. I think that would be actually great because it builds that excitement. And I think it's a good starting point to get that readathon going. What everybody thinks about that? Sounds like a good idea. I mean, I'm into it.
All right, sorry, I have to run. I will join on
Okay.
my phone once I'm outside.
Okay, no problem.
Quick question to Cheryl. The book fair that you're planning and potentially in April, do you already have all the titles and books that you need for that? And is it something that is, are you putting out a call for people to submit books? Is it in partnership with TNS? Like, how's it working logistically? Because usually, the reason I ask is because usually we have our end of the year book fair is usually a BOGO, which is buy one, get one free book fair. It's not a big fundraiser, but since we didn't have 3 fundraisers this year, our May book fair isn't going to be a BOGO. So this is a great supplement, I think, you know, April free book fair and then doing the Scholastic book fair in May doesn't conflict.
Yeah, I think I started organizing stuff last week on the tables, the library tables, and I had bought some things from First Book just because the deals were so incredible. So I bought I think enough for every first grader to get an Elephant and Piggy big fat book, you know, the big Elephant and Piggy collection. So there's that. But we could use First Book, use Scholastic for some, but First Book, if there's some funds. And maybe get the same book. I don't know, but you know, not get like the First Book things could supplement the donations. And also with the book swaps, sometimes people have different thresholds, shall I say, for what is like a good book. And so the ones I'm sorting through are like new, they're in really good condition. So I don't want to put pressure on people to think that their book isn't, you know, I don't want to like judge the books, but they're new books, they're quality. So if I can, like, if people want to donate, I think we should say like new and almost new kind
Yeah.
of thing, because you'd be amazed at what
I agree.
people get sentimental about their books. And so, you know, I got a bag of books that smelled like cigarettes, like really bad. And, you know, I just put them in a dumpster. But they really treasured those books because it had been their kids' books and they didn't.
I get it.
You
Yeah,
know,
so we could, when we do the call for that, we can say, please be in like in at least like really good condition. And we could maybe say, you know, no rips and I don't know. I don't want to like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
always
you don't
like,
want to. Yeah, I just quietly, you know, take them out. I don't. Maybe I
Yeah.
should, but and then you know, some people don't really. You just want to be like, I guess, sensitive about. Not everybody has to bring a book.
Yep.
Some people bring 20 books, and you know, maybe some don't bring a book. That's okay too.
So maybe we could just be like, if you want to drop off books to donate, we'll be because we'll be giving out free books on the 7th. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
give them a date. Hey, bring your books in so that we can kind of sort through them by the 5th. I don't know. I'm just saying, and then we could sort through them and whatever's good, we can
Yeah.
then display those on the 7th
Yeah.
to kind of eliminate all of that, you know, uncomfortable, like on the same day kind of thing, bring your books and we're like,
Also, it's a big job organizing. I thought, you know, it would be really nice to organize it like, you know, loosely by grades, you know, at least like K to 2 and 3 to 5, you know, that kind of thing.
gotcha.
Or fiction, nonfiction, whatever.
Okay, that
Um,
sounds good.
Yeah, and we just need a team to help sort. I have interns, but they're not allowed, you know, nobody's been in the building. That's the problem.
Yeah. I don't know what's I mean, I guess if we did give out, like I'm down to come help. I just don't know, like being let in the building, it would just have to be maybe in the yard that we do it.
Yeah.
So the stuff is brought down or, you know, when the donations are dropped off, they're left downstairs in the main area. So it's easily, we're easily able to just bring it out with minimal foot traffic into the school. So that's just logistics we need to think about. But I'm down.
I'll reach out to that mom who wanted to help. Her name's Eve Smith. She's at Neighborhood. I think her daughter's in
Okay,
5th.
cool. All right, awesome.
Okay.
So we'll have that tentative book giveaway on April 7th, which is the half a day.
Okay.
And then we'll do a book collection. And we'll, if you want to say, what's April? Let me look in the calendar real quick. April is, let's see here. Like, so April 5th is am I looking at the right thing? Okay. April 5th is a Monday. So we say, hey, drop your books off.
Friday.
Monday, April.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think? Friday the 2nd or?
All right, so there's the issue. Spring break is the week prior, so
Yeah, we
there's
come
no
back.
there's no way
come
people are
back that
coming.
fifth.
We come back on the
Yeah.
5th.
oh, right.
Yeah.
We'll
So I
give
would
some
say
time
to
for
do it
people
that-
to sort. I'm sorry, Chris, for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Do you want people to, like, first day back from vacation to bring the books, or do you want to give them a week to gather themselves and then that Friday?
I think we could just have a big Rubbermaid kind of tub and people can bring them whenever they want to, up until a certain day. Like just start collecting them.
So when do we want to start that collection? We can start it whenever. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I guess we don't have a whole lot of time, right?
Yeah, because if we're saying. All right, we can think about this and then come back to it
Okay,
so that we can give some
Yeah.
space in our minds to kind of figure out what we want to do.
okay.
I think it's a great idea. So we could definitely, before we go on this call, or we can just jam on it on email if we don't figure it out today.
Or it could be a whole other thing. You
Yeah,
know, it could-
that too.
yeah, okay.
So just moving along, I guess, what would our spring book fair look like? When do we want to have it? I was thinking, just for myself, just kind of brainstorming, maybe end of May, beginning of June would be good, but that's just, I was just throwing it out there. So maybe we could think about what that looks like, and if people think that's a good time frame.
Summer reading.
Sean, you're on mute.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with Cheryl. Like, let's set it like that. How it's get end of the year, get your books ready for summer break kind of thing. Now, logistically, it always gets hard to do activities in getting too deep into June, because even though we're in session until June, whatever, we're mentally checked out. At a certain point. So I think definitely no later than the first week of June. But I would be in favor probably towards like the end of May kind of thing. It's a little bit tighter in terms of the organizing window, but I just feel like sometimes June people get a little checked out. I was gonna add too, though, to the whole point on I know we kind of moved on in the agenda, but when we get to the discussion on the usage of Scholastic Bucks, I think we should make a proposal to allocate a big portion of that to buying books for the free book fair. Like, because we're not, we do our fundraisers to raise money, but we're raising money for this. We're raising money for books, for education. We're not raising money to sit in a bank account. So like, we do a book fair, we raise all this money, let's buy $2,000 worth of books and give it out for free. It's like a way to just have that cycle closed.
I like
Definitely
the idea
agree.
of and I like the idea of all of the kids in a grade getting the same book, like what Cheryl did. That's really cute.
Okay, I'll shop around too. I put in my own money for these books, but I have sitting here like from the cookbook sale a few $100s, so I can just put that towards it.
Yeah, if you give me some titles, I can just go into Scholastic and then just purchase it. So if there's
Yeah.
titles that firsthand, like are good for every grade, I can research in here. You can log in, I'll give you the credentials, you can log in and put them in the cart, and
Okay,
then we can just purchase. And then we could also purchase pencils and bookmarks to kind of go along with it. If
because it's
if
kind
you
of,
want.
yeah, it does
And
build.
everybody will just
community.
get their little Scholastic kit. They'll get their books, their bookmarks, and then that'll be it. And their little pencil.
I like it. I know that on the Scholastic website, like on the catalog, they have like tote bags, and they're like $1 each. You can buy them in bundles, and you can just put them in a little tote bag and just hand them out. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but you know, these are ideas.
Okay.
So cool. So Scholastic Book Kit. All right, so everybody's in favor of like proposing end of May for our next book fair, our spring book fair. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna, I know we were talking about doing it in person. So that's something that we want to decide. I know that Sean had mentioned, I think at the PTA meeting that, or at some point, maybe in our last meeting, that we want to do one outdoors, maybe in the courtyard or in the front of the school building. And then maybe also still have the virtual component for those people who are not going to be able to even come around the school. So how do folks feel about that? Go for it, Cheryl.
I think that's a good idea. I think it's almost like to cater to both groups, both the
Okay.
in-person and the virtual. And since we did such a great job with the virtual, we know that it can be successful.
Exactly.
I'm meeting with a parent coordinator on Monday just to, connect. And I'm going to show her Sora and how to use it. And we're going to think about how to get, more people using it. Because I'm finding when I go into some classes, some kids know, some don't. And it's going to take a while, but it keeps getting better and better because my department it's not all coming from our budget, our library budget. I'm getting outside library funding. So it would be great if people took advantage of it.
Nice. What, I mean, even if I don't know what Sora is, what
Oh.
is,
Okay.
you want to explain really quick? Because I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, because I think everybody should, especially the younger kids who can't do it independently. I don't want to take over, but I can give you a sneak peek of it.
We got, all right, let me make you co-host really quick here. And you
Okay.
can show it, yeah.
Okay. So Sora is, it's an app and it's basically, okay, I'm gonna go in.
I feel like I might have seen this, but I don't think I ever used it.
Okay. So,
Like a little rocket ship, something like the app. I don't know.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Okay, so here's Sora, and it's the library, but it's also the app you use to read the book. So it's a reader app and it has the collection. So when we buy ebooks, they go into this platform.
okay.
But one thing I love about it, so these are, okay, here's my account. You can attach all your libraries. And right now, Queens is just letting anybody in the DOE get an account. Like you can just borrow books from Queens without having a card. So these are all the libraries I attached. This is the DOE library. So these are just some of the books that are.
And this is a free app?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So.
We should definitely promote this as part of the, readathon. So
Right.
you can put a whole separate dojo post if you want on like, hey.
Well, I have put it on Dojo, but like
We
these
can
are
put it
all,
on our,
yeah.
okay, go
So
for it.
we just need to keep doing it because, everybody's overwhelmed with stuff.
Yeah.
But so then like, here's a Dog Man book. I'm going to borrow it.
Very simple.
It's pretty simple. You get a little used to it because okay, so you have to click in here. You move with the arrows. It's an iPad app. It's on all the DOE iPads.
Okay.
And it's also this Sora app. It's on the web. So you can, it's really good quality.
Nice.
And
We definitely
like
got to put this in conjunction with the readathon. so that
And
people get to use this app more.
Yeah, and for older kids, I've been using it when I go into classes. I usually take a book from here. If I take a book that's not a comic, these are all,
There's so much to choose from.
there's a ton.
That's great.
So like biographies, I was looking, you can, biography. I think I have an adult, so all the kids are gonna have age appropriate books. Teachers get the whole gamut, adult, K through adult.
Well, this is
So,
great. We
yeah.
could somehow start integrating this in along with the readathon to get people used to using this platform more, and it'll just be a habit is where they go to like read the majority of their
Yeah.
books.
Exactly. And this just came out yesterday, the Michelle
And it's already
Obama
there.
for young readers. And so, I can't borrow it.
No more books.
Ugh. So I'm a book hog. So you can borrow it and make, for older kids, they can underline, look up words, make vocabulary. And even after you return the book, all your notes stay with you in your account.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, that's my quick tour of Sora.
Thanks. This was great. No, serious. I've seen it on the app, but I was like, they have Epic, Kaya's in this. Then we have physical books. So we kind of
And
like neglected it.
This is 24/7, Epic has a limit. So this is,
Yeah. This is a good point because people are like talking about, oh, Epic, my kids can't read after school on weekends, and they can just use this and it's already in the iPad. So we
Mhm.
definitely got to make a point like, hey, use this as a resource. We don't need to purchase some other platform. You have it, and you have all these books from different libraries they can utilize.
The only thing is, sometimes not everything is available all the time. It's like a library, it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a library. So you
So
can put a hold on stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's still a really great option that people are probably not utilizing that much that we can start
Right.
promoting.
So
Thanks
when
for showing that.
Sure. So that definitely could go with the readathon because that's like we have it.
Yeah,
Oh,
something we could start using right now.
I didn't show you that. I'll just real fast. This Me tab, you get awards, like you get, if you're into it, you get badges. So I
Oh,
have, like you immediately get one for just your first time visit. And then,
I know Kaya's into this. We have downloaded an app for brushing her teeth, so she gets stickers like
Yeah.
on the app. So she's like, oh yeah, look at the sticker I got for today.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that's something.
whatever helps.
I don't know if that could integrate with the readathon.
Yeah, I think so. I think you can work that into the readathon. Also too, like every communication we send out about the readathon, every post that we put, we can always have the the URL to link
Yeah.
back to this. And it
Yeah.
could be like our orientation is to direct people to this as much as possible.
Yeah. Earn a badge.
Mhm.
That's like right off the bat.
Right when you log in, you get that badge, right? You just that's like the first badge.
Just log in, you get the badge.
That's
Oh, and the login is your DOE login.
okay. Simple
Oh.
enough.
You use your kid's login. Or, yeah, you can get Sora and get adult books, but not from the DOE. You'd have to, this is a school thing. I don't think.
All right, we can figure it out in terms of how we can integrate it into the readathon. It's a really great resource. So
Yeah, I'm glad this
attach it.
came up.
So okay, cool. So we're thinking yes to outdoor, right? Yes to continue with the virtual component of the book
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I think we just have to figure out, do we figure out a date now, or we just kind of still think about it, and in the next meeting, we come together, we can have a better sense. What do y'all feel? Should we set a date now and then propose to the PTA, because I know they have to vote on this on April 13th.
Yeah, so it might be that the board ends up deciding before we wait for the PTA, because that's so far from now because of the spring break. So I think we should make a proposal as a committee and propose that to the board and just move forward with that date. And if it has to change, we can reschedule it. I am looking at the calendar, right? We have the DOE calendar, but we also have the STAR calendar. There's no conflicts in the last 2 weeks on the DOE calendar of May, last 2 weeks of May. There's of course Memorial Day weekend, which is the 29th through the 31st. So we're off on that last Monday, the 31st. But the week leading into the break, there's a couple of activities happening at the school. There's or things that are being encouraged by the school. Family paint night on Friday the 28th. We have our movie night on May 27th. We have yoga, adult yoga on May 26th. We have SLT meeting on May 24th. So that last week, if we don't want to conflict with people being able to participate in both an outdoor after school book fair and these things, it might be a little hard. So maybe we do it the week of May 17th through the 21st.
Double check
Um,
here.
Thinking that off the top of my head, I don't think that would conflict with anything.
I agree. It looks like that. I mean, that last week, I mean, it would be too much going on at the school, I think, to try
Yeah.
to coordinate a book fair. So if we say what happens if it rains and things like that? That's what I'm thinking. Like, is there going to be a contingency plan for us if there's rain? Do we have a tent? Things like that.
That would have to come out of the the PTA fund if we do opt to get a tent.
Good point. I think, yeah, that was something that maybe we proposed to them. We could say, hey, this is the dates that we chose, but just as a contingency plan, if we need a tent, is there access to one? What it would look like to purchase one, and kind of leave it in their court to decide if that's something that's feasible. So we could
And
put that in
then-
the proposal. I can make a note of that.
And then just see who's available to volunteer, or if it's
Yeah.
just going to be us.
I think we should try to see if there's some other folks that can kind of jump on board, just in case, like, say something like we do agree, but then there's some comes up on your end or my end, if something happens, that we still
Mhm.
have enough people to fill in. Maybe like another 2, maybe 3 people. See if we can find some other folks. But
And this is after school, right? Or
So yeah, so the way it works usually is that we have the book fair open all day and teachers come with their kids to participate in the book fair, and then we're open a little bit before and a little bit after school. I think
Okay.
how it would work this time is that we would probably do our main book hours like from 2 to 4 or something like that after school those 5 days. And then if we can work it out with the team that's on hand, we could theoretically have sales happening during the day with in-class students. It might be a little bit hard because, you know, there's a register that, you know, we would have to train some, you know, we got to see if there would be like the parent coordinator could support or something like that. The way it works for Scholastic, I wanted to add on the rain date, is that we give them the dates that we want to do the book fair, but we internally decide what days we actually do. So for instance, we could give them a 14-week window that we're doing our book fair. And that way, if they're like, so we could say the whole last 2 weeks of May, we're doing the book fair. So they deliver the book fair materials on, you know, prior to that. And then we kind of monitor the weather and say, we'll be open this day, and this day to our parents internally. And then, you know, we can work around it that way, because it might be a little bit hard to get tents set up and tarp set up, because I've talked to Jody before, and since our playground area is technically not owned by the school, it's public space, it's kind of hard for us to, that was weird noise. Oh, Siri talking to me. I'm like, who's talking to me on my watch? So in any case, it might be hard to set up structures in the schoolyard from a technical perspective. So if we just did like the 14-week window and then we watched the weather the week prior, we can be like, okay, we'll be open Monday, Thursday, and Friday because of the conditions outside, and then again on Monday of the following week.
Okay.
A different option.
I didn't know that about the schoolyard. That's good to know.
Me either. So, okay. I mean, we could put it that way too. So say if that did rain on one day, we'll just push it to the following week and then say, hey, we're open this day because of the rain, and just kind of go about it that way. But the 17th to the 21st, everybody's good with those dates?
Yeah.
We propose it? Okay, fantastic. And then, so the virtual book fair would just be a ongoing thing, right? I'm assuming it'll just be same dates and just all virtual, people can shop anytime.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I
Awesome.
think we did a really great job with the prompt last time of just like, hey, we're 25% way there, but we need your help to get to our goal. And then as we mentioned earlier in the call, if we can do a tutorial for the parents and the teachers of setting up the e-wallet, because it was a little confusing for me with setting up the e-wallet. I was like, did I do it right for this class? Did I do it right for Maya? Am I contributing appropriately? So I think that's a really good idea.
okay, so have incorporate the e-wallet tour, like how to set it up. Okay,
Yeah.
I have to confess, I tried to get on myself and I got frustrated because I wanted to donate some money towards it, and it wasn't clear. And to be honest, I just it got lost in.
abandoned it. He's like, forget it, next time.
Yeah.
It happens.
It wasn't even conscious. I just one of those techno stress moments.
I get it. It happens. Sean's the one that set it up. I didn't really even know how to do it myself. So maybe he's like, well, yeah, he's pretty good at figuring stuff out. So maybe we can do like a short video, either it's live or pre-recorded, and then put it out there so people can follow along and just kind of do it at their own pace when they're home. So it makes it a little bit more simpler to follow along. And maybe we'll get more people register for more parents register for e-wallets, and maybe that also make it easier for the teachers as well. All right, so I'm going to add that into the proposal. So we submit it. And then the last thing, any other points on this before we move on, I think, to the last part of the agenda? No, we don't have too much time left, but I do want to kind of talk about the use of the Scholastic rewards dollars and come up with a maybe simple proposal for that spending of those monies, a few ideas around spending it. So the floor is open to anyone who wants to speak. We do have, again, how much is it in here? Let me just double check. $33,555 sitting in our Scholastic account.
I mean, I thought we had a really good idea of buying the little Scholastic kit for each child in each grade, of having the grade appropriate book with the bookmark and the pencil, and then the tote that you said is $1 each. So just for them participating in any and all events, just being pandemic ready, pretty much.
Okay.
Like you deserve this for just getting through 2020, 2021. So I think that's just a really great idea. And then of course, with Cheryl's guidance, we can pick the best books for them. So that would be amazing.
Yeah, and I can poll Jody and Darlene to see the exact head count of, how many kids in each grade and stuff like that. So I could get you those numbers so that when you're looking to shop for it, once Cheryl gives a recommendation, we can see, okay, this is how much it'll cost, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I have that. I have the
Oh,
list.
perfect. The other thing I was going to say in terms of the funds, so I think definitely for the free book fair or the Scholastic Care Package, however we're linking it all together. And then also too, I know that the catalog, if I remember correctly, has like, they have like they have pre-made packages for certain topics, which is always good. I would love for us to think about too, for the free book fair, when we make purchases, not only like grade appropriate ones, but also like language one, like let's get a good amount of Spanish books, a good amount of books in Mandarin, all this kind of stuff. And they're all on the Scholastic book, so we have like a significant, because usually it's like a little box with foreign languages, and I feel like it'd be
And
better
they're all together.
yeah,
Like there's
they're
three
all mixed.
Spanish, there's three Mandarin.
We don't have a huge ENL population, surprisingly, at the school.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot of Spanish speaking families that
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
English, but that they're more comfortable reading or learning in Spanish.
Yeah.
Or like, for instance, us, we're not predominantly Spanish speakers, but we're trying to teach our daughter more
Yeah,
Spanish.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if those more Spanish books,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are some books that I don't think I found it in Scholastic, but they're English to Creole and Creole to English books that were gifted to me. And they're coming out with more, but also French speaking books and Spanish speaking books that I would love for because now is the best time for her to get it.
Yeah,
So we need to catch them while they're young.
yeah. The audios are good too,
Mm-hmm.
to get
Does Scholastic have like audiobook stuff
Oh,
too?
I don't think so. Audiobooks are
Hmm.
so expensive.
They're very expensive. I know that Scholastic does have these it's kind of like Epic, where you buy like a 1-year membership to gain access to all
Yeah.
this stuff. So like a bunch of science titles or like graphic novels, you get access to all their graphic novel library for like $600 a year or something like that. So maybe those are things to look into as well. And maybe they have like an audiobook. God, I don't know if they do, but
Yeah, before you look at that, yeah, I've done a lot of research on these databases, so it gets tricky when kids are having to jump from one platform to another platform. So I don't know. I'm right now big on Sora because it's free and it does have audio and it does have read along and it does have other languages.
right. So we don't even need to spend money on stuff if we already have that free access. So maybe just for time's sake, maybe it might be worth Cheryl and Jenny, looking through the catalog together and then just shooting the rest of us a proposal, an email or something like that.
I'm down to do whatever research. So just let me know. I mean, I kind of already browsed through the catalog. But I don't know what books to choose, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
If you send me the login or if there's some way for me to see the catalog, I could start making a little spreadsheet.
I'll send it to you right when we're done. I think it's Sean's login stuff. So it's going to be, I don't know if there's any other, I don't have my own login.
Okay.
But I can send it to you and then you just log in, take a peek, and then we can kind of go back and forth on it and see what works.
And we talked about at one time, and I'm not pushing this at all, but the little book house where
Yes.
we have something in the lobby, like a little free library just for ongoing. It looked very sweet. I'm moving because I'm broiling.
It's okay. I'll put it in the cart. It's like $240.
Oh, okay.
So we can purchase that.
Okay.
Because I was telling Sean, I was like, oh, they have the food drop-off area outside, and I was wondering maybe we could have.
That would be so great. Yeah.
we can have something like that. But unfortunately, Scholastic doesn't have anything with like a door. It's all open. So yeah, if we did get one, it would be open and put in the lobby for this the kids that are in the school.
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Did we set the dates for your next book reading, Cheryl?
No. I have a question, but I don't want to do so much talking.
Question, go for it.
Okay. So I've been doing at Star, I drop into the classes at like weekly times for K, 1, 2, and do a read aloud. And some of those kids are remote, some are blended. Neighborhood school, I still don't have a grasp on it because it seems like there's almost like two groups, they don't come together, you know, so there's like a blended and remote group. I'm saying this all to say that on some days I do a read aloud at what I think is lunch, might be their lunchtime. And I think we talked about this before, but that would be an option, is to do either a lunch or an evening, you know, like you were saying once a month, like a special thing once a month.
Yeah,
Not that I'm so special, I don't think. I read
the kids were into it last time. I think the more we do it, the more will come on and watch and participate. It's just about building the consistency around it, I feel. And then, you know, it'll just gradually be like, oh, they'll know, oh, we have our book read along with Miss Wolf, and they'll just jump on. I did have the proposal for March 26th for the next one.
Oh,
It's a Friday. That was just what I wrote down based off of me looking at the calendar. But
what time? I'm getting my calendar.
I think that was the Friday before break. That's the last day that the kids will be in the building. So it could have been like maybe like an early afternoon thing,
Okay.
if you want. Maybe like a
Do you think
What time?
people might want something during the break?
or that's what I was thinking, but there was a vote in the PTA meeting that people didn't want to have anything during the break. That's why
Yeah.
I think the readathon got pushed to April. But I'm not opposed to it. I mean,
I could do a recorded thing too, but then again, what makes my recordings any better than one that you can find, you know, on YouTube, except that it's me and they know me.
yeah. I mean, that's still pretty special. It's like they get to see you reading, you know, it's somebody that they see regularly or know. So that's always still a nice thing.
So
Um,
I've already been collecting some of those, making those, so I have a bunch.
Okay, so if you're good, we can set a March 26th, early afternoon.
Okay.
Say like, what's good travel time? What do you think? 3:30? 4 o'clock?
Okay.
4 o'clock? So
You think
March,
people will come? Well, somebody will come.
4 o'clock is hard on a Friday, though.
Yeah.
There's no way we could do it on the Thursday.
Thursday, whatever, the 25th, that's fine too. I know the movie night got moved to the 18th. The original day was the 25th. So we can do it on book reading on the 25th in replacement.
Okay.
Still 4 o'clock or different time? What do you think? And then we'll end here.
4's good.
Cool.
Four.
All right.
And not to put more work on you, Cheryl, but I love the fact that we did the book reading and then like an activity tied to it when we drew the Chinese dragons. Like if you could do something like that I think it makes it, it makes it a little bit more of a different experience than watching, like you said, a pre-recorded, 10-minute read along kind of thing, But not to put more work on you, but if you had it in
I
mind.
know. I'm okay.
Okay, so book reading, maybe we could tie it into something spring related, like
Yeah,
plants and I
I'll
don't know,
figure it out.
nature, something
I'll
like that.
figure
That
it
would
out.
be great. 4 o'clock, March
Okay.
25th. Okay, we'll propose that. I'll put together, because I have a bunch of random notes. I'll put some stuff together, shoot it out so people can look it over before I send it out to the PTA. But
And
any
you-
other questions, last thoughts before we go? I know we're a little over time here.
Just that you're all wonderful. My last thoughts.
Thanks, Cheryl. Same to you. I know it takes, we all take some time out of our days to jump on these calls. It's all for the kids, right? But all right, yeah. So if there's no other comments or anything to add for now, we went through a lot, so that was good. I'll shoot these notes out within the next 24 to 48 hours that I compose it, and then we can go from there. And I'll keep everyone posted on if I hear anything back from the PTA before that and things like that. But thanks, yeah, for jumping on. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes.
I know the girls got a play date, so Kaya's already coming out the room. It's 4:05. Bye, ya.
Bye.
Bye.